Hello friends, so I am pretty late to the party, but better late than never. Dev Note 13 has really piqued my interest, and obviously I haven't made a video on any previous Dev Note, but this one I did find it to be really good and somewhat promising. So we'll go over it, and obviously we'll discuss the whole should you summon on the DayZ rerun that a lot of people have been talking about. So the first thing is the crystalloid issues. I mean, sure, they are giving out 1k frags for that, so that's going to be really nice, even though I don't think this affected too many people, because it's all about like P10 type stuff. Like for SRs maybe, but you know, it's whatever. So we know that they're changing a lot of stuff for 1.5, like the grind game and stuff, the end game, so that's cool. Boss challenge and dungeon content revamps, basically because of the fact that they've made the shortcuts to some of the dungeons like super fast, like Mine's Abyss. It's basically just a boss challenge. You go in there and you just fight the long dead, right? And then for deep spider nest, it's a bit quicker, but you get the gist. The Gila dungeon though, they're saying it's going to remain open, but the nature will be changed to a dungeon elite boss. I don't know what this means exactly. The dungeon elite bosses, they're like just like the mini bosses inside the dungeons, like the Abyss Golem, the Gila Golem, sorry, the one in Spider that drops platinum and stuff. I think that's what they're talking about. But basically, they're going to be changing it. Adding new content raid through this update. We aim to reintroduce the removed existing dungeons again in a new form through a renewal. So that's cool. They're taking away Furs and Mines and Spider Nest temporarily. I mean, that's cool. I think the raid is what we're going to be doing weekly to get the extra star frags, so that's fine. And they plan to maintain existing boss challenge rewards as they are, while separately adding the rewards transferred from dungeons. I mean, sure. Material items previously obtained from existing dungeons, such as the boss drops, right? They're going to be revamped, so that's cool. And starting from this update, crafting recipes that use those materials will also be changed based on materials that can be obtained from boss challenge. So they're going to be changing recipes. Hopefully they're cheap, because one of my biggest gripes with the game is that the crafting is so unnecessarily heavy. You know, everything is just such a chore to craft. There's no easy craft of like anything important, right? So farm this a bunch of times, and hopefully they make stuff easier. Now this change is massive. Growth system revamp, simultaneous equipping of engraved equipment and armor. Holy crap, this is such a huge change. They're saying previously, since engraved was in a form that replaces the armor, it was difficult to utilize more than like a 3 set basically, so that's really cool. And they're saying because of this environment, the armor sets that you farmed were not really utilized. When you have an engraved, all you can do is rock a 2-piece and then an extra or a 3-piece. So them opening this up is just like, it's going to add so much more build diversity. It's also going to make your characters a lot more stronger. You're going to have a lot more HP. You're going to have a lot more defense. You're going to be able to experiment a lot more, especially with some characters, because moving on, it's going to be, I think, rather simple to build your characters. Like for example, if you have shielders, right? Let's say Gila, for example, Sword and Shield Gila. You're just going to be able to give her straight up. You just give her the 4-piece life crystal set for the 20% HP, and then you have her engraved on top, and then boom, her shields is just so much stronger. Or like with Escanor, you can give him the 4-piece Watcher set from like the field bosses, the Red Demon and the Grey Demon and all those guys, and you get more defense, so you get a stronger shield and stuff. So this is really good. And like they say, the overall survivability of heroes will increase. You're gonna get way more CC, blah blah blah. So this is all really good, and it's gonna allow for a lot more experimentation. Obviously, it's gonna give you more DPS as well, because even though they're unlocking the armor slots, of which none of the armor slots actually give you main stat damage, it's all just defense and HP, you are going to be able to utilize some 4-pieces, because there's quite a few 4-pieces that give like crit damage or like normal skill damage and stuff like that. So even on your main DPSs, you're going to be able to get even more damage out of them too. Obviously this wasn't going to be just for free, because this is a massive power spike for everyone to get, you know, just as a change. So they're going to be changing some passive and set effects, as the passive and set effects of engraved equipment can be utilized at the same time. Adjustments to values, blah blah blah. So yeah, excess, yeah, they don't want you to be like, you know, overly OP, so they're probably going to nerf quite a few things down, but it's still going to be fine. In total, it should be a net positive regardless, so that's cool. This one, I'm not sure how to feel about it, because they're going to be making armor and like accessories that you can craft. They're making it able to basically have a quality, right? Normally when you craft something right now, you just get one eye level and that's it. My biggest concern with this is, what about all the damn stuff that I already crafted? Are those going to be buffed? Because they're saying starting after this update, you will be able to obtain equipment with up to 125 quality. So we're not sure if this is like RNG, if like maybe you craft one and it's like 115 and then you craft another and it's like 120, if there's RNG to it, but I really hope it's not. I hope it's just static for all of them, and I hope that if you have already crafted these things, right, we're talking the burst accessory set, we're talking the hem of regeneration set for your supports, maybe even some of the armor pieces, because I know I crafted the 2 jet black pieces for my Meliodas when I was a broke boy running the pick and mix set. So hopefully you don't have to like craft them again, right? Because if you have them right now, they're really low eye level. It's not great for CC. It's all CC and like the main stat, but yeah, hopefully this does apply to what you've already crafted. Gluttonous soul weapons buffed. Yo, people were big mad. Yo, people were really pissed off that the gluttonous longsword was a literal debate. I'm telling you, so many whales like maxed it out and it was just flat out worse than the black flame, so they're going to be buffing it. Different secondary bonuses will additionally be granted to the previously existing gluttonous weapons. To be honest, this is only like real on Meliodas. Like I think every other character who has a gluttonous weapon does use the bloody weapon. Like Daisy uses it because it gives a cooldown for the sword and shield on the special attack. Escanor uses it because it gives him max HP, so more damage on the ultimate. It was literally just Meliodas, right? They could have just buffed Meliodas' one, but they're gonna buff all of them, so I guess that's fine. Growth difficulty adjustments, they're just making it easier to like farm up all your characters, really get them all maxed out. You're not gonna get gold and mastery EXP, which is like mastery EXP is like the fuck, like dude, I had so much mastery EXP, I sold so much of it just for gold, because you just get so much of it, right, just by playing the game. But no gold, I think it's a fine trade-off. You know, it's like unlimited repeating farm of like all the elite bosses. You'll get materials to craft SR weapons, to salvage them. You get materials for your mastery on your characters, and all they really take away is the gold. I think that's perfectly, like, that's chef's kiss, bellissimo, you know, that's great. Now this is a big one. I don't know why they didn't add this in like its own separate thing, but they're gonna add a recipe to craft SSR magic crystal shards using the SR magic crystal shards. Now before, like they said, it was like really hard to get them. Like realistically, you could like semi-brick your account by wasting all your platinum and your weapon fragments to like craft and dismantle SSR weapons, or like salvage, sorry. But with this way, it's going to be a less bricky way to do it, right? You can basically just craft a bunch of SR weapons, salvage all of them, and then use those magic crystals to make the SSR ones. Hopefully it's not too expensive, because one thing this game has done over and over again is made things so expensive to bloody craft, and then they end up nerfing it later down the line. So I really hope it's a reasonable system, like it's not absurd. Currently the scissors is absurd. The needle isn't too bad. They've already nerfed the reroll stone, the remnants of the rift. So it's like, hopefully this one they get it right and they make it not too difficult. Because obviously these give you a massive power spike. You do need 50 to max them and break a weapon. I don't expect it to be easy to just get 50 of these. But yeah, I just really hope they make it not too bad. Again, they're mentioning the new raid, which they're changing Furs and Mines and Spider Dungeon for, so that's cool. You'll get 1k frags a week, so in 3 weeks you get a free multi. Like, you know, that's fine, a free multi every 3 weeks. You know, it's currency that we didn't have, right? People really do worry about and complain about how many fragments we get, which I also do, to be honest. This is a very big concern of mine. I do not think we get enough fragments from playing the game. Obviously, like at the start of the game, yeah, fragments were in abundance. Like you get like 60k plus, basically 2 pities. But it's like we're moving on to the 5th banner. We had Melly, Daisy, Escanor. Yeah, we're moving on to the 5th banner, right? So it's like if he was completely free to play, there is a very good chance if you haven't done every banner that you are literally out of frag. So this is definitely good. Daisy's P6. This was just like a translation error on like in Japanese, and then they were like, sorry, gomen nasai, and then they buffed the best character in the game because of a mistranslation on her P6. So it's like her P6 does not give you crit defense when you land a normal attack, but it said it did, so now they're just giving that to her. So she just decreases even more crit defense for some reason. So yeah, Daisy P6 buff. I don't have a P6, I only have a P5, but you know, for those who have a P6, very nice. Now this is something a lot of people have been talking about, and I'll just keep it straight with you. In my honest opinion, if you do not have Daisy, this is my opinion, guys, if you do not have Daisy, I would recommend you summon. Truly, from the bottom of my heart, truly. If you do not have Daisy, I highly recommend you pull her, because if you get her, it's just infinite value. Now, people are going to say, right, or like some opinions that people have is like, don't summon for OCs. If you're really going to take that approach, you can't be the guy complaining and commenting on like creators' videos saying, oh, how do I do it without Daisy? Like, they're rerunning her literally not even 2 months after she came out. If you have the spare frags, I highly recommend you pull her. She's in my opinion, she's the best character in the game. She's not like the best DPS or anything. Obviously, Meliodas is the best like all-round DPS, but Daisy, you run her in every team. She gives you extra platinum every day, and you know, I pulled her when she came out. God knows how much extra platinum I've got just from having her on my account through the adventure skill. And then obviously in terms of combat, broken buffer. Honestly though, at P4 it's not the greatest, because at P4 the special attack is only 15% crit damage. You do need to get her P5 to get the extra 15% to where her buff is respectable. So it's 30% crit damage at P5. But still, I mean, like, dude, even at P4 it's like 15% crit damage plus the adventure skill plus her broken engraved giving you crit chance and crit defense shred. Like, I would, if you don't have Daisy, I think you should summon. I'll be honest. I think bro, I'll tell you this free. She's gonna be more value than Merlin. She'll be more valuable than Elizabeth. I'll tell you this for free. Quote me on this. Having Daisy on your account, if you're not the guy who just cares about sins, having Daisy on your account will provide you infinitely more value than Merlin or Liz or whoever the next character is. Maybe besides Gotha, because we know Gotha is always broken for some reason. And lastly, they're just LARPing about some of the strats used in the speedruns. I mean, it's like, yeah, sure, whatever. I don't speedrun, so it doesn't affect me. I do think it's really cool, some of the strats that people come up with, but this is just a nothing burger for me. But yeah, that's going to be it. They mentioned the overall survivability and attack of heroes will be increased. The perceived difficulty of existing content will also be eased. Now, this is a big issue I have with this dev note, is that they're going to be making us so much stronger, right? Hopefully, is the content not going to get harder? Like, I think the game is already easy enough, bros. I'll be honest. I'm not a whale and I beat everything easily. Obviously, I know what I'm doing. I'm not like Pepega, but I really do hope we get content that, like, you know, challenges us, because what we're going to be getting so much more like substats, so much more crit chance and crit damage on how we build the characters. We're going to get so much more HP, we're going to get so much more defense. So if all the content stays the same and we get so much stronger, the game is just going to be like piss easy and there's going to be no fun in it, right? But anyway, that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you thought on my takes of this dev note number 13, and until next time, I'll see you soon. Take care.